Hello everyone, welcome to the First Impressions with Kicks. Here we're flying up the Apache. It's a new Tier 2 ground attacker aircraft. As you can see, it very much resembles a P-51, although it is not a P-51. The one thing to note about this, I did do a little bit of research on it, not much in a historical value, but I did see that this thing was a very good ground attacker, killing mostly lightly armored cars and trains, and bombing out and strafing railways and uh, airstrips. I'm test flying the P. There we go. One take. That's all we're doing. I'm test flying the Apache here in realistic mode. Now this is not a review. It's a first impression. To really get a review, I honestly have to fly the plane in combat and actually see it in combat and see how it reacts to the different environments that it gets put in. Obviously, a land-based aircraft, it'll most likely be getting a lot of air spawns in most of the maps that it'll be competing in. You can carry a bomb load on this plane, but it's not really much to really tinkle around with. I mean, you could probably try to hit some convoys with it. Maybe, yeah, you may be able to do some base damage, but it's not going to be overwhelming or any real damage to do. This thing is really more sticking to the ground attack convoys, attacking AA units and armored cars and whatnot, and artillery. Now, I was going to criticize this plane about having only about being a ground attacker and only having 50 cals. But then I thought about it. This plane is only tier 2. At the most, this plane is going to see, it may see a heavy tank here or there, but mostly it's going to see armored cars and AA units. Soft targets, these 50 cals will make very quick work of. And the bombs that it can carry, they're okay. They're definitely good enough where you could actually drop them on a convoy, get a few kills, and strafe out the rest. And this plane is fast. It is fast in the low levels, not really much of a turner, but in a straight line, it's very fast, and it accelerates and gets up there quite easily. As you can see off the runway, where its top speed is somewhere about 350 to 360 kilometers per hour. It gets to that speed rather nicely. As you can see, I ticketed to the vertical for a little bit, and it doesn't really do too well going into the vertical. Only a 20-degree climb, and I was rapidly losing speed. This plane is not a dogfighter. It's not a P-51. It may handle like one. It does handle similar to the P-51 in game, the Canon P-51 at Tier 3. It does handle similar to that manner. So if you fly that plane and you know how its characteristics are, you'll be right at home flying this. But at the same time, it's not a dogfighter. You try to dogfight with pretty much anything in this game, you're going to get blown out of the sky, especially stock. Now, once again, this is not a review. It is a first impression. So, spaded, this plane might actually be a force to be reckoned with. Now, I did do a little bit of research. Now, mostly this plane was attacking ground installations, tanks, trains, strafing out planes on the runway, so on and so forth. There were a few recorded air-to-air kills, although I do not recommend dogfighting with this plane. It's not really. I do recommend. I mean, defend yourself if you have to, but as far as going air to air in this plane, it's no. Is it worth it? Well, if you're high tier, if you're like me, where you're just in the game and you're going for like something like the AD2 Sky Raider, then as a practical point, not really. But if you're looking for a ground attacker to piss around in the low levels, then yeah, this thing could actually have the potential to be a lot of fun. I could see a lot of low tier American pilots using this plane. It's actually fairly good. It's fairly maneuverable. It's fast. It actually, and actually, there's not a lot of ground attackers. Um, yes, there's the Douglas dive. The Douglas, I believe it's Douglas, the Dauntless, and then there's the Avenger, but is the A20G. But that's about it. This can actually provide some very good QRF in the realistic modes, as far as like you just got killed. Now you're gonna spawn to an aircraft, and you need some quick air support in the simulator and realistic events. I can see this plane fairly doing fairly good in those events as it is very quick off the runway. It's very easy to get it up to that top speed, and it's very effective at putting bombs on target, and those 50 cals can absolutely decimate crew and modules in lighter armored vehicles such as light tanks and medium tanks. Well, as you can see, in realistic mode, the Apache is fairly easy to land. Not much of a struggle there. It actually drops speed for me very easily and very quickly. Quick look around the cockpit. The cockpit actually looks very beautiful. Nice wood flooring. Then, really good view around the entire cockpit itself. Well, that was first impressions of the P-38 Apache. Quick like if you like it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys in the skies. Thank you very much.